Okay. All right. I think we are already live. Well, hello. In this video, I am going to share with you the best steps that you need to take when you begin marketing a personality. So, remember, marketing someone else, just keep that in mind. Marketing someone else is different when you market your own self. And because you only know what your client is feeding you. So that's kind of a little bit of a struggle, but I'm going to help you out with that. So these steps that I'm going to share with you are in chronological order and has worked for me, my clients, and students and coaches. And trust me, it's super effective. I always get, when I started doing your advice, I started gaining traction and attention, and I'm getting a lot of opportunities and so on and so forth. So, if you want to learn how I and my agency markets a personality or a personal brand, stick around until the end of the video. So, once again, hello, my name is Melissa Perfetta. I am a branding strategist and an entrepreneur, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time to stumble upon my channel or my brand, I talk about business, my life, marketing, branding, and femininity. So feel free to subscribe or leave a comment in any of my videos, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it because you're going to learn a lot of things. Okay, so let us start. All right. Um, so in the very beginning, when you are conversing with your client, you have to keep in mind this is the most or the crucial. It's so crucial, okay? This is the trickiest part, I would say, because not all clients are ready to open up themselves, and not all clients are ready to give all of the information about them to you. So it's more of you asking them different sets of questions and making them feel comfortable during your conversation in order for them to open up. Because if you can't get them to open up, it would be really hard for you to create stories that connect to people. Well, keep in mind when you are marketing a personal brand, your main goal there is for the personality to resonate and be relatable with their potential audience, because that's the only way it's going to work. If they are not being vulnerable, or they're not going to share anything about themselves, or there are things that they have to work on within themselves, then I'm already giving you a warning. It might be a struggle for you to garner results and to really capture attention from the potential audience that you want them to attract if they are being sketchy. Okay, so you have to make them feel relaxed so they can open up. Okay, there are certain questions that you have to ask them. Like, for example, what do they want to be known for? Well, first things first, not all people know the answer right away. It's like, because they're going to hire you, they're going to tell you, well, you should know that because you're the person I'm hiring. So tell me, blah, 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 blah. But it would be best if they are the ones who are going to tell you. So you can have this barometer of which direction you're going to take. Okay, they should be the one who's going to answer you that. Okay. Another question is, who are the most influential people in the space that you've chosen? Uh, and ask them, who are the people that you're looking up to? Because the people that they're going to say, most likely those are the people that are already influencing them. And you want them to start borrowing influence from those people. Okay? Because the reason why those people are the best people to collaborate with is because they are already, they feel like they trust that influencer already. So it's not hard to build rapport. So there's a connection already, and most likely they are seeing something in that personality that makes them want to project that in the public too, or maybe they want to embrace a certain quality of that individual. That's why they chose that person. So when it comes to picking the most influential people. It doesn't have to be the macro influencer, it could be a nano or a micro influencer. Okay, so know that. You have to know those things. Who are the most influential people in their space that they can collaborate with, and the one that you can borrow influence from. Next, which communities? So the questions that I'm telling you, by the way, these are questions that you can find in my branding strategy document, and in the description, I'm going to link you all to that. If you want to get a copy of it, just have to download my personal branding strategy pack, the starter pack. Next question that is also part of the starter pack is, which communities are best for your client to be visible in? So why is this important? Because you're going to do a little bit of a guerrilla marketing here. It's not like it when they post a video, everyone's going to, it's an amazing video. Okay, that happens, but it doesn't usually happen. Just keep that in mind, okay? So, what we want to do is we want your person, your client, to become a very, very visible asset in a community, a visible and valuable asset in a community, and make them so valuable in that community that it seems like that community will not have a lot of energy, or people wouldn't want to be in that community without them. Okay. And the best way to do that is, of course, you need your client to be interacting with other people. Interacting, giving value, perhaps speaking or commenting, things like that. Okay. And yeah, that's for that. That's your barometer when it comes to choosing the best communities for them to be visible in. By the way, if you're watching this right now, go ahead and feel free to leave a comment in the comment box, so I know that you're watching this live. Or if you're watching this on a replay, go ahead and let me know that you're watching this on a replay. So another question is, which platforms has the most responsive audience based on the content that your client is putting out? Now, the thing is, if when your client starts to put themselves out there, remember that not all people are going to respond to them, because not all people is everyone's cup of tea. Okay, there are specific people that we want to listen to or get advice from, and so on, and expect that with your client. Okay, it's okay if they are repelling people that is not in tune with their vibe, because if that's the case, they are giving space for the people who are going to resonate with them. Okay, and that's what you want, because the more that your person or your client attracts the people who resonates with them, the more chances of them converting those people into actual paying clients. Okay. Um, in my program, Branding Mastery as well, I added different strategies that help my coaches answer and complete their branding strategy document. Because at first, if you're gonna see the document, it's kind of overwhelming, since it's pretty detailed. But it's an important thing when it comes to marketing a personality, okay, or a personal brand. And the method I used in the program actually involved a little bit of healing, a little bit of NLP, and scientific behavioral discoveries, and that those things will allow an individual to really get to know themselves better on a deeper level, and be sure of who they truly represent. Now, this is why whenever I work with a client, I always ensure that they go through a session with me first, because that will truly help both of us in accomplishing a well-defined branding strategy. Okay, because most people, actually, most people don't really know themselves yet. They don't have any values, they don't even know what they stand for, things like that. And during the sessions with me, I uncover those things and help them truly understand themselves. So again, this is the trickiest part. This is the phase one, okay? Setting of foundations. Phase one is setting of foundations. And during setting of foundations, the next thing that you have to keep in mind is you have to get their brand strategy polished. All right, the very beginning has to be completed. You cannot skip it, otherwise all of the other things that you're going to do would be pointless. You're gonna go back to the first step again. Okay, and again, polishing the brand strategy document will allow you to better understand them, how you can position them, which directions you're going to take next for the strategies. Now, also keep in mind that the brand strategy document is going to be your basis for measurement if things are working out or not. Okay. A lot of people say, oh, I'm just going to make sure that this person is being out there, or this person is being known for this thing, blah, blah, blah. But really, I understand that when it comes to branding, there's no specific KPI for it. But there are things that you can measure when you are already marketing for an individual. Okay, samples, we have conversion rate, we have reach, engagement rate, how many people are already joining the community, so aka the growth rate, things like that. So your brand strategy document will help you decide what is the best KPI for me to determine if the things that I'm doing for this personal brand is working or not. Because remember, if you're marketing for a personality, hello, they are paying for you for your services, or they're consulting with you. If things are not working out for them and you cannot show them a concrete detail of the things that you did for them and what's working and what's not working, then most likely they're just going to stop working with you. You don't want that, obviously, right? So the next thing is, once you have the brand strategy all set, the second step under setting of foundations is you set up one, at least, okay, perfectly groom at least one social media account. Okay, so right now, based on the behavior that I'm seeing, the best is Instagram. Okay, for people who are coaches, people who are offering such services and such, Instagram would be the best one. Because on Instagram, you can set up your core information through IG story highlights. And on Facebook, you can't really do that unless you have a pinned post, right? But it's too wordy. But with Instagram, remember, people are becoming very visual right now, and they love consuming visual stuff that are really appealing to the eye. So, when it comes to Instagram, you have to set the core of their brand. Okay, I call them the core pillars in IG story highlights. So set it all up. And also with their bio, you have to make sure that it's all set. Even with the posts, you have to ensure that there's content in there when people check them out. Okay, it's either you create a theme based on the brand strategy document, accomplish a theme for their IG. Just it doesn't matter if they're not super active. They at least the last 9 posts are themed. So when someone browses on their profile, people can see something. Who is this person? Why should I be interested in working with this person, and so on and so forth. Okay. So also the IG story highlights. Don't forget that, because that allows you to create much longer content and much longer and consumable content that people can just click, tap. Okay. It's like it's ephemeral content, yes, but when you put it in the highlights, it's gonna stay there. and people can just easily check it out. Just make sure that you have a strategy in place when you're doing the core content on the IG highlights. Now, the third thing is under setting up of the foundations is you have to make sure, okay, that you are setting up or you have set up their lead magnet or their opt-in landing pages with the lead magnet. Why is this super important and crucial? Because hello, all of these people that you're marketing for has a core goal, which is to sell something, obviously. Either sell or book appointment or generate leads. It depends. Okay, so what if, for example, they don't have anything yet? They don't have a lead magnet produced, but they want to start generating leads. They're not the type of, they're not the writer type, but they can give you ideas and so on. Well, if that's the case, you can work it out with them. Okay, you have to ask them, are you more of a talker or are you more of a writer? Which one is best for you? Which one would you like to do? So if they tell you, oh, I'm more of a talker, which means that they are going to be more effective on video. Okay, so an alternative thing that you can do is to create a Facebook group for them, either a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group where they can simply, record a video and then drop it there. Okay. Or, for example, they say that I'm more of a writer. Yeah, then you have to ask them to create their lead magnet and then you're going to set up their opt-in automation. Now, another thing is, what if, for example, they are on a budget? Again, if they are on a budget, don't worry, because your alternative is you can still create that Facebook group for them. Okay, make people or drive people to that Facebook group and then just ask for the people's email before they enter inside the group. That's okay, because you're still able to capture their emails anyway when they agree or when they answer your questions. So just have to make sure that you have set it all up. Okay, so all of those three things that I mentioned, get their brand strategy polished. Second is setting up at least one social media profile in a very, very professional way. The third is setting up their lead magnet. So those are part of setting up their foundations. That's just phase one. Okay. So if you're going to handle an individual, a personality, keep in mind that the timeline most of the time is 6 weeks. So this is also the timeline that we give, that I present to clients when we begin working with them, because this is what we do, regardless if it's a new brand or if it's a total rebrand. Now we're going to proceed to the second phase or the second stage. Okay, so once you have all of those three things in place, or what if, for example, your client has all of those three things in place, then you can go ahead and start preparing and planning all of the collaterals that you're going to put out there. Now, this is aka content marketing, okay? But I call it preparation and planning of collaterals. Now, you have to keep in mind that there are 52 weeks in a year. Okay, and so that means you have to be able to produce 52 pillar content pieces for this client of yours. All of these 52 pieces of content has to be well researched and thought out. Okay, it shouldn't be, oh, the 52 contents, yeah, I'm just going to get all the viral stuff and then I'm just gonna put it in a document and then I'm just gonna caption that. No, okay, hell no. If you are really going to market for this personality, then that's not the best way to go. Curating stuff is one thing, but marketing someone in order for them to achieve something is a different thing. Okay, so these 52 pillar contents would also require your client to do some kind of work. Okay, so because they have to shoot themselves. Either they're going to shoot a video with you or by themselves. You're just the one who's going to research what are the best topics that they have to answer or create, and that is it. Okay, you're going to proceed to the next stage then. The next stage, the third stage, is the production stage. Now, with our clients in Melpro Digital, we offer photo and video creation as well. So we really go to the client's place in order for us to shoot them with how this is the angle, this is how we're going to stage the background, and so on and so forth. But for example, you are catering to clients virtually. You don't necessarily have to do all that. I'm going to shoot you, blah, blah, blah. You can just give them tips. Again, you're going to base everything from the brand strategy document. So for example, you've seen there that they want people to feel smarter, and he just wants the clean stuff, but also want to let people know that he reads books and he's a musician, blah blah blah. Then there is a way for you to stage that. You can create a virtual background for them, just in case your client doesn't have any budget of selecting specific pieces that they're going to put in the background. So like right now, what you see in here in my space, you see flowers and greens, and then I have fur, right? So these things are pieces that I have curated, not only because I want them, but it's because I represent beauty and calmness altogether. And that's why you will notice in my overall brand style, it's all about beauty, calm, everything. It looks ethereal because I want people to feel beautiful when they interact with me. So because that's one of the values that I have written down in my brand strategy document. Then again, if your client doesn't have a brand strategy document, how can you plan out these things, right? You will have no idea how to do it. So it's really, really an important thing for you to know. And once all of the videos are done, you were able to shoot different long form videos, and then you're just going to chop them into 52 core contents. Then you can start going through phase 4, which is the development stage. So in the development stage, okay, this is more about editing. What are the videos about? Okay, how can you frame the videos? What are the highlighted phrases for the videos? Let's say you're going to produce squares or stories and so on and so forth. There's more of story development. That's why it's the development stage. You're going to development all of the contents that were already produced. You're also going to decide if you're going to produce blog posts or simple YouTube videos, or also are you going to run ads for these videos, and also are we going to set up a funnel for this video, and so on and so forth. So that's under the development stage. Now, the last stage is, this is going to be easy now for you. Once you have done the first 4 stages, the 5th stage gets easier. Okay, this is all about distribution and implementation plus maintenance. Okay, this is the part where it's all about scheduling. Okay, scheduling the content, repurposing the content, tweaking your caption, distributing it to different social media platforms, also monitoring the stats. Are you going to create a collage out of it? So developing different content pieces in order for you to get more attention or more engagement. It's the social media stuff already. Okay, which is, that's the reason why I call it maintenance, because this is the reason why your client is going to keep you. Once they've found out that, oh, so we have shot the 52 pieces of content and it's already good for distribution, and this person who's marketing for me is really doing well in terms of distribution, then I'm going to keep this person. This is why they pay for retainer fee. It's because of this heart. So pay attention to this. Do not take this step for granted, because what I've noticed is that when someone begins to do something on a routinary basis, they tend to feel bored, as if this client is going to stay with me anyway because we've done this and that. No. Okay, no. Remember, you are still monitoring the stats. Okay, you are needing to keep producing results for your person. Okay, so keep in mind, when it comes to distribution and implementation, you are still tracking your progress and tweak and see which one is the best strategy that is working for you. Because remember, all of the distribution and implementation part, you are publishing content. Okay, but right now, publishing content is not enough. You have to be engaging with different profiles too. So that's included in this stage. Okay, it's part of this stage. You interact and comment in other people's pages. That's all on you. All right. So just a quick recap of the different stages that you're going to do when you begin marketing a personality. First step is setting up foundations. Second stage or second step is preparation and planning of collaterals. The third is production. Fourth is development, and then the fifth is distribution and implementation. Now, that is all for today. If you want to learn more with me, go ahead and feel free to click on the links in the description below, because I have given you a personal branding strategy starter pack, and that's going to give you a brand strategy document overview that you can start consuming. Or also, if you want to begin learning with me, feel free to look into my book called Explode Your Influence, because I have given you a detailed strategy there.